I am an old man now. My hair is white, my hands are weak, and my steps are slow. Every morning I sit by the window watching the world move on without me. The leaves sway in the breeze, whispering memories of a past that feels both distant and near. Some memories bring a smile to my lips, while others bring tears to my weary eyes. I once had a wife, Lily. She was my sunshine, my reason to wake up each day. Her laughter was the melody that filled our home. We built a life together, full of love and laughter. We had 2 sons and a daughter, and they were the light of our lives. I worked tirelessly to provide for them, and Lily made our house a home. Years passed and our children grew up. They chased dreams of their own, stepping into a world beyond our little home. They visited when they could, but the visits became shorter and less frequent. Lily would always tell me, "They will come back. They love us." I believed her because she was the heart of our family. But then, one day, Lily fell ill. The sickness took her slowly, draining her strength. I held her hand, whispered stories of our youth, and tried to make her laugh, but the laughter faded. One night, she closed her eyes and never opened them again. My world turned silent. The house, once filled with warmth, felt empty. I waited for my children to stay, to fill the silence with their voices. But they were busy, caught up in their own lives. One day they sat with me and said, "Dad, you shouldn't live alone. You should move to a home where you will be cared for." I wanted to refuse, to say that my home was where my memories lived. But I saw the finality in their eyes. With a heavy heart I nodded. And so, I came here. This place is called the Silver Oaks Home. It is clean, quiet, and filled with people like me, waiting, remembering, longing. The nurses are kind but busy. They bring me food, give me medicine, and sometimes smile at me. But the days are long, and the nights are lonelier. One morning a nurse handed me a notebook. "Write your memories," she said. "It might help." First, I hesitated. But then, I picked up the pen and the words began to flow. I wrote about Lily. Her voice, her touch, the way she made life beautiful. I wrote about my children, their first words, their laughter, the nights I stayed awake to comfort them. The notebook became my companion, a silent listener to my heart's whispers. One day, a little girl came to visit with her mother, a nurse at the home. She had bright eyes and a curious smile. "Do you have any stories?" she asked. I smiled and nodded. I told her about my childhood, the games we played, the mischief we caused. She listened with wide eyes, laughing at my tales. For the first time in years, I felt alive. After she left, I wondered, do my grandchildren know me? Do they remember the stories I once told them? Do they miss me like I missed them? I longed to see them, to hold them close, to tell them how much I love them. That night, I picked up my pen and wrote letters to my children. I told them about my days, my memories, my longing. I reminded them of the times I carried them on my shoulders, the times I kissed away their tears, the times I sat by their bedside, telling them stories until they fell asleep. I sealed the letters and asked the nurse to send them. Days passed, and then weeks. No response. No phone calls, no letters, no visits. My heart ached, but I told myself to be patient. They are busy, I thought. They will come. One afternoon, the little girl returned, bringing a drawing. It was a picture of me sitting under a tree, smiling. "This is you," she said. "Happy." My eyes filled with tears. "Thank you," I whispered. Her kindness warmed my heart. Even in my loneliness, I had found a small light. Then one morning, the nurse walked in with an envelope. "You have mail," she said. My hands trembled as I opened it. It was from my eldest son. He apologized for not visiting sooner, for being too caught up in life. He promised to visit soon. A week passed, then another. Each day I waited by the window, listening for the sound of a car, but none came. Doubt crept in. Had he written out of guilt? Had he forgotten already? Then one bright morning I heard footsteps in the hallway, different from the usual ones. My heart pounded. The door opened and there he was, my eldest son standing hesitantly. Behind him, two little children peeked from behind his legs. My grandchildren. "Dad," he said, his voice soft. "I'm here." Tears blurred my vision. "You came," I whispered. He walked forward, embracing me for the first time in years. "These are Emma and Liam," he said. "They wanted to meet their grandpa." The children ran to me, handing me drawings. "We made these for you," they said proudly. One was of a house with a big garden. The other was of an old man smiling. "This is you, Grandpa," Liam said. For the first time in years, my home was not the walls around me, but the people in front of me. My son sat beside me and we talked for hours. He told me about his life, his struggles, his memories of home. Before he left, he held my hand and said, "I'll come again, Dad. I promise." And this time I believed him. A few days later, my daughter visited. She hugged me, her eyes full of tears. "I should have come sooner," she said. "I'm sorry, Dad." I held her close, feeling the warmth I had missed for so long. Slowly, the loneliness began to fade. My children visited more often. The little girl still came to hear my stories. The days felt lighter, the nights less cold. As I sit by the window, now I no longer just watch the leaves sway. I feel the love that surrounds me. My heart, once heavy with longing, is now filled with gratitude. And in the whispers of the wind, I hear Lily's voice, telling me what I now know is true. They love you. They always have. And for the first time in a long time, I believe it.